Hello, it's Jonathan from tapcartridges.com, and I'm recording this video to show you how to start measuring your tap cartridge to find the right replacement for your taps. If you look on our website, you'll see that we have a lot of different cartridges here, and they all look very similar, but they're all slightly different with different measurements, and it is important to get the right measurements so that it will actually fit your tap correctly. Now, we do have a page on here for measuring tools, and it just shows the type of tools that you can use. We use these micrometers. You may have something like this, calipers, and you can actually use this to measure things very accurately. So for example, if I measure this, it tells me it's about 23.5 millimeters across. You can also buy spline gauges, and they help you to count the number of splines. That's what these ridges are called at the top of a tap cartridge. But you can actually get quite a long way with just a tape measure and a couple of tips and tricks. So I'm going to do it with a tape measure today, and let's see how far we get trying to identify this particular tap cartridge that I've chosen as an example. Okay, so we do have a page on how to measure, and this is actually just being finished at the moment. So once you see this will have all the correct diagrams on it. And at the top of the tap cartridges page, we do have the initial steps that you need to take to start to narrow down the search. So if we look on this page now, we'll see there's a lot of cartridges showing, and we don't necessarily know by just looking which one is this one. So we've got to start to take these measurements. So the first measurement is to measure across the diameter of the bottom of the cartridge. So I'll do that with a tape measure. So if we just look at that, it's roughly, if you can see that, it's roughly 24 millimeters across. So that's the first measurement to write down. You can actually get smaller cartridges like this one, and you'll find that they're nearer to 18 millimeters across. So the difference is the small ones are what you might call ½ inch thread size, and then the larger ones are 3/4 inch thread size. So you can actually go down on the filters, and you can either put in measurement J, which is the actual millimeters that we've just measured, which is 24 millimeters. So if we just scroll down, measurement J, we could tick this box for 24 millimeters. You can also tick this box for 3/4 inch. It's basically the same measurement, just being shown in two different ways. Okay, so that's narrowed down our search to these 6 tap cartridges. So the next thing to do is to measure the overall length. Now this can be a little bit tricky with a tape measure to get it exact, but you can usually get somewhere near it. So what you've got to do is measure from the actual top of the spline part, not including the screw. And so if we take the tape measure from there and then go to the bottom of the actual unit, that basically looks like 57 millimeters to me. Like I say, it's a little bit difficult to do it accurately with a tape measure, but you can just put in measurements that are near to that. So if we 57 millimeters, and that's measurement A in the boxes below. So if we go down and find measurement A, right, so there is one here for 57 millimeters. If you're not sure, you can also tick ones that are nearby to it, but obviously try and get the accurate measurement. Okay, so it's narrowed it down to these 2 options. Now, the final thing, the difference between these 2 is in the spline count. So this is how many grooves or ridges does this have around it. Now, the trick, you can do this without a special measuring tool, is to use a Sharpie, something like this, and just mark one of the grooves in there. And then you've got a starting point, and then you can actually put your thumbnail in or some other piece of metal or whatever to just click round. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a bit fiddly. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and we're back to our mark. So we know that this has a spline count of 20. So let's go and tick the box for that. And it's narrowed it down to this. So there's a good chance that this tap cartridge is this one on the website. And if we go into here, we've got some more photos of the actual cartridges, so we can actually visually check that it looks the same. I mean, you can see here it looks pretty similar. And also, if you scroll down, we do have the extra measurements on the diagram here, and you can actually go and check those measurements. So for example, measurement B is from underneath this smooth collar up to the top of the splines. So if we just look at that, that looks like it's roughly 32 millimeters, and that's measurement B. And actually you can see that here, measurement B is 32 millimeters. So that's looking good, and we should probably just check some more to be absolutely sure. But there's a very good chance that this is the right cartridge. If you order it and it's the wrong one, you can always send it back as long as it's not damaged. If you get to the point where you can't find the anything to match your measurements, then use our send a photo page. Here, just list out your measurements and email them with a photo to info@tapcartridges.com, or you can use WhatsApp to send an image and obviously include the measurements in that message as well, and we'll come back to you, and either we'll point you to a cartridge we have on the website, or we'll try and source the right cartridge for you. So I hope that helps. Obviously, if you need to contact us, there's contact details on here, but hopefully that should give you a good starting point. Okay, good luck.